horse camp coordinator at her house. And I have been riding since I was probably Eleanor's age. Eleanor is 6. She is my daughter. Say hi, Eleanor.
Hi.
Hi. I've kind of seen her riding around. So we're going to introduce you to some of her horses. And this is also my son, Elliot. So I'm riding, I think since I was 6. I started riding in England, and then we moved to America and have been doing competitions and grew up in the 4-H program. Grew up with Debbie Morgan, who some of you may know. And then I went through our high school program where I also knew Ripley, the horse that you saw, and Sandy Simmons. So it's kind of a small community of horse people. So I grew up doing the high school equestrian team, and now I coach the equestrian team at Milford. So first off, I'm going to introduce you some of our friends. Let you hop down, Eleanor, and then they can introduce them. Okay, so first off, this is Cooper. Can you guys see her? Let me see. There she is. Okay, so this is Cooper. Cooper is a miniature pony. They grow to about 34 to 38 inches. So she is fully grown. She's not going to get any bigger. A lot of people think that she's a baby, but she's actually, oh, wait a second. There's some motorcycles coming. She is actually 28 years old. So she's on the older side. We actually kind of retired her. Eleanor used to ride her when she was little, and now she's just our pasture pet. So the miniature horses, they were developed in Europe in the 1600s, and then they became popular with actually the nobles as a pet. So all the royal family and all the royal nobles throughout Europe just started to breed them and develop them. They took smaller horses and kept getting smaller and smaller horses, and finally they made the miniature pony. And then in the 1800s, they came to the U.S., and so they've been in the U.S. Since the 1800s. They're used as pets and for driving carts. So some people, the Amish, Cooper actually came from the Amish, and she drove carts for the Amish, and she actually used to ride a little boy back and forth to school for the Amish family. And then we got her, and she's going to be with us forever. So we'll grab our next pony. Here, Eleanor, why don't you grab Stormy out?
I want to see that. Oh. Can we get a different one?
Here you go. Go ahead and get Stormy.
Get away. No, shoot. Get out of here. Go shoot.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions real quick while Eleanor gets Stormy out about Cooper? Or, let me see, let's check our chat too. Yep, I do know Sesame at the farm. So actually, Sesame, the next horse that we're getting out, Sesame was given to the farm by Tom and Christy Green. And the next pony that we got out is actually from the same owners. So this is, we might have to back her up, she's a little bigger. This is Stormy. So Stormy also came from the people that we got Sesame from. And Stormy is she's a type of Shetland pony. So the Shetland pony came from the Shetland Isles, which is north of Scotland. So they were developed in Scotland, actually like the Bronze Age. So as far as oldest type of horse that I have here, Stormy is our oldest type of horse who came from Scotland. They're built, let's see if we can back her up. She's really strong and really sturdy. So they're built for riding. Eleanor just started jumping her. They're driving ponies, so you can hook a cart, and they're also used for packing. So because they're so big and sturdy, they'll pack just kind of like a donkey or a mule. they'll pack all kinds of stuff and they'll take long trips and they'll just be their pony that's gonna haul all the food and all the supplies and all the tents. So that's kind of what they're good for. Let's see if we can back her up here over. All right. Nope, we're not hopping on yet. So she is a little bit bigger than Minnie. She will grow to be about 42 inches. Eleanor is about 3.5 feet. So you can kind of see, can we see?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see how tall she is to Eleanor. And Stormy is 12 years old. So she's fully grown. That's as big as she's gonna get to. And like I said, as you can see, Cooper, she was 28 and she's teeny tiny, and Stormy is 12. So that's both the heights that they're gonna be. Horses grow until they're about 5, sometimes 6 years old. Mostly they'll grow in height until they're 5. And then when they're 6, they'll start to gain all their muscles and their strength. And I'll grab you our next pony out for us. All right, Eleanor, Elliot, you wanna grab Ella? So let's see if we have any questions about Stormy.
Yeah, there's someone who asked why is Stormy bigger than Cooper?
So Stormy is bigger than Cooper because, you can kind of see Mellow, Stormy is bigger than Cooper just because that's the type of breed. So they bred smaller horses and smaller horses so that they would only be a certain size for the miniature ponies. So the miniature ponies, they only grow to be about 38 inches at their biggest. And the Shetland ponies are about 42 inches. And then this is also a pony.
Whoa.
This is Marshmallow. And Marshmallow is actually our biggest pony, but he is our youngest. So he just turned 3 years old. And he is a pony. He's not a horse. He's supposed to be a pony. Some of you might know Tulsa at Tollgate. So this is the same type of horse. They're both POAs, which stands for a Pony of America. And Ponies of America, they were developed in the 1950s in Iowa. So they're American bred, American made, right in the 50s. And they're actually bred with a Stormy, so the Shetland pony, and an Appaloosa. So one of the characteristics, just like Tulsa, is that they have these big spots like a leopard, and they're here. Go ahead. Got him? Okay, let's see if we can see his whole body. Can we see him?
Yes.
Go down. There we go. So he, like I said, you can see he is much taller. POAs are only supposed to be about 56 inches at their maximum height, and Marshmallow is actually 58 inches. So he is actually too tall to be a POA, and he's still growing. He'll grow till he's 5. So we can show him as a POA pony until he's 6, and then he kind of gets booted out of the program because he's too tall, but Eleanor will get to use him forever. And I know that someone asked about his mask. They said it looks like a dead mask.
Right.
So there's a couple of reasons. With white horses, they can also have like this pink skin. They can suffer from sunburns, or they're very sensitive to flies because their skin is very extra sensitive compared to other types of skin. So their pink skin makes them sensitive. So this protects them from the flies biting their eyes or biting their ears and then getting in their eyes, and it also protects them from the sun. So they're very susceptible to sunburn. Kind of like the vet was saying that he deals with cancers. So these type of horses, if they get too much sun in their eyes or if they get too much sun on their skin, they can be susceptible to eye cancer and skin cancer. So usually he's like fully covered from head to toe in fly gear because he hates the flies. But yeah, this is Marshmallow. Any other questions? Let me see if I got him.
A lot of good observations. They're seeing this, the pink skin. There are a couple people who are talking about having horses, so I'm curious about what type they have, but I think that's good in terms of questions. If I've missed your question, you can put it in the chat again. As I said, it's hard when there's lots of comments to see the core questions going on.
All right, you want to put them back, Elliot? Yep. All right, Eleanor, did you want to go through real quick your grooming supplies?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on, Mello.
Probably less obviously.
So each one, he does like the attention. He is definitely our most friendly of them all. He's definitely a baby. So just like baby humans, they can be mouthy, they can be pushy. So we originally got him for Eleanor from Oklahoma, and then when he got here, we realized how big and how strong he was. So then we got Stormy.
But someday, right? The marshmallow.
She does ride him, but I think as you guys have, or Ellen has seen, she can jump Stormy and stuff. So real quick, I will touch on their food that they eat if we have time.
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So as you can see with their stalls, one of their 5 freedoms is making sure that they have shelter. Each horse has their own stall. They're usually out all day long. I'll kind of flip it around and we can see their pasture. Another one of their freedoms is for freedom to move about, and so this is their pasture. Also across the street, we have another pasture that they go when they're hungry. We ride out here. Eleanor has a set of jumps out here. So they each have their own stall. They go at night. We haven't seen them by the house, but we do have coyotes. Sometimes we can hear them howling because we have like 100 acres back there. And so just to keep them safe, and also putting them in their own stall at night lets us monitor, make sure they're eating all their food, make sure they're not leaving anything behind, make sure they're poop regularly, they're eating, they're drinking. So it helps us monitor each horse rather than having them out and not knowing if someone's not eating their food or if someone's not pooping correctly. So that helps us monitor all those things. We make sure that we have fresh water. So they have 2 big water buckets that they drink from every day. And then Eleanor has to fill their water every day. Make sure at night they have their fresh, clean water buckets every single day. Even if they're full, we dump them, give them fresh water. And then eating. So we have 3 ponies, but they're 3 different sizes, and they all have their own type of food that they eat. So horses, they eat about 2% of their body weight every single day. So a horse that's anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so a horse like Mello, can eat anywhere from 30 to 40 pounds of food every day. So that's a lot of food that they go through. Most of that is roughage, which is like your hays. So there's 4 particular types of hays. There's orchard, alfalfa, what am I think? Orchard, alfalfa, Timothy, and grass hays, or you can have a mixture of both. Our guys eat grass hays. So ours is just, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
Ours is just like a grass type of hay, and the reason we do grass hays for our ponies is that ponies can sometimes have difficulty processing sugar. And like the vet talked about, the 2 most common types of vet calls are laminitis in your feet and colic, so stomach issues. So when horses have trouble processing those sugars, one of the things that can happen is it causes them to have a fever, and their fever kind of starts in their feet, and it can cause the soft tissues of their feet to swell, and then it can cause their bones in their feet to rotate and cause soreness and that laminitis. So it's funny to think that food can make your horse sore in their feet, but it is one of those things like how we talked about, everything is connected, especially through their diet. So we make sure that Mello is having a baby moment. So we have we're making sure that they're low in their sugars, and that goes with their food too. So another type of hay that they can get is, if you guys can see, this is hay. but
Oh,
it's in a pelleted form. So another reason that you can have pelleted form, there's kind of two reasons, and one of them is for older horses, because once what you do is you take that pelleted hay and you mush it down, you let it soak in water for about 30 minutes to an hour, and you don't want it any longer than that because it can create mold, but you let it right before they're going to eat, you let it soak, and that can help your older horses that have bad teeth and have trouble chewing, can help them process that hay a little better because it's already pre-chewed because they can't chew their cud. So it kind of helps them with their pre-chewed hay, or if they need extra caloric intake. So this is actually for Mellow, the big POA. He's got big, strong muscles, so we just give him more alfalfa. So this is a different type of hay that the other guys can't eat. So it's an alfalfa hay, and he lets it soak, and he gets more food than the rest of them he likes to eat. We also have two different types of grain. So Mellow has more of like a horse grain. Stormy gets no grain. Again, every horse is different, so they're going to have different needs. So Stormy, if she eats hay or eats grain, she can get overweight very easily because they're already built really strong and sturdy. So she's kind of on a diet. And then the little one, Cooper, she has her own type of grain that's extra low in sugar because they're very prone to laminitis being so small. So she's got a grain just to keep her weight on because she's old. So she does need that extra grain, but also very low in sugar. I think I lost my helper. You want to grab Cooper out, Elliot?
Yep, I'll grab Cooper.
All right.
so interesting, Louise. Did you already share about the difference between the pony and the horse? Is it a measurement thing? Like
Yes.
height?
Yep. So the POA's 56 inches is your maximum pony height. Anything above 56 inches or 14 hands. So 4 hands, if you go like this and you've got 4 fingers, that equals a hand. So if you put 14 hands on top of each other, if you're at home, that might be a fun thing to do up your wall. If you count 14 hands, that's your maximum height for a pony. And then anything above that, 15 hands. And if you have 14 hands and 1 finger, that says that's called 14-1. This would be 14-2, 14-3, and then this is 15 hands. So it's kind of how you measure a horse. A lot of times ponies, as horses are growing, they'll grow in their butt, and then they'll grow in their withers, and they'll grow in their butt, and they'll grow in their withers, and their withers is their shoulders, so they'll grow a little bit off, but they'll always eventually kind of level out. So yeah, 14 hands or 57 inches, I guess, is your, or 15 hands and 56 inches is your, turns into a horse automatically.
So I was doing the math. If I divided 50 by 4, it would be 14. So they're going, a hand is like 4 inches, right?
Yeah, pretty much, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'll touch real quick on one of our other freedoms is care and love, and making sure, again, that they get groomed every day. That's not just a bonding thing, but it also lets us go around and inspect the horses. If they're sore, they might flinch or might nip at you. We can see if they're cut or anything like that so that we can make sure that they have proper vet care. So the vet, typically, knock on wood, the vet only comes out twice a year, and that's in the spring and in the fall for their vaccinations. They get 3 vaccinations in the fall and 3 in the fall and 5 in the spring. So other than that, we do wormers. So you can just buy them at your feed store. You get wormers about every 3 months and sometimes every month, depending on the strength of your wormer. But here,
I got this is the curry comb.
so yep, you want to explain it, Elliot?
Yep. So this is a curry comb. It has the like a star shape in the front, and then there's 4 on the back for ours. And then what you want to do with the curry comb is you want to kind of go in circles.
Then come grab one.
until you cover their body. Kind of, you want to go on their neck, their muscles, and their chest.
And their back. And what, Eleanor, tell them what the curry comb does. Right, you gotta go on the camera. There you go.
Maybe tilt the screen down just.
It gets all the dirt out. It scrubs all the dirt out.
Yep, so it scrubs all the dirt. What's next? What do we do next?
We use the hard brush. The hard brush.
How do you know it's the hard one?
Because it's hard and it scratches a lot.
Okay, so what do we do with that one?
So we want to go in the direction of their fur so that it doesn't hurt their fur. So then it gets out all of the hard dust.
Or if they're extra muddy, it'll get all the extra dust. All right, Elliot, what do you have?
I have the soft brush. And how you know the difference?
This one's actually made of horse hair, so it's extra soft.
Oh.
So, and you want to just brush everywhere to make it feel soft and smooth. And
Right, Eleanor, your one? I think we're running out of time here. Face brush. Okay, this face brush.
this is called the face brush because it's tiny and it can fit their face.
Huh.
I want to do this one because I like it. Then this is the shedding blade because
We kind of, you see this one?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of sharp and it gets all the extra hair off there.
So in the winter, or in the springtime after winter, once they start losing their winter coat, you can use this one and it helps kind of pull all that extra spring coat off of them and helps them to get their coat ready for the summertime. See, do we have any other questions?
Yeah. Kate is asking if you know the parameters of Milford's horse program, and also Kate Sutherland is asking what about the medium brush, and says that they use the medium brush. She must have horses.
Yep.
How do the horses come to the USA? Megan wants to know.
Okay, so I have in our bucket, we have 4 different types of brushes that we actually go through. So we have a soft, our green one is our hard, and then, yep, you're totally right, Kate. We do have our medium brushes as well. Those are our most common that we'll typically use. And what was our next question? How do horses come to the USA? So actually, the people that own Stormy and the other Mini at the farm, they actually breed across Europe. So you can fly a horse or you can ship them on a boat if you're talking that they're specifically coming from Europe. Otherwise, they're like European descent where, like I said, Stormy, she was born in the US, but her breed is from Scotland. Miniature horse, they're from Europe. But yeah, you can ship a horse by boat. It takes 2 weeks. We actually had, last year we went to Mackinac Island and you can take a ferry. So you put your horses on the ferry and that takes about, it was like an hour on the ferry ride up to Mackinac Island. So.
Someone's asking to Louise about